All right, guys, welcome everybody. We're going for episode 5 already, and today we have with us Coach Vasco from Portugal. So we're keeping it within Europe this time again. A great coach, coaches at an academy out there, and for what I know, he's a great young prospect as a coach, and he's really into developing himself. So his topic today is all about how he built his network, how he grows his brand, and his brand is himself as a person, as a coach. I have had the honor of seeing his presentation already, and it's going to be a great one. So without further ado, I would like to give the word to you, Vasco, and get this thing started.
Thanks, man. First of all, thank you, Mike, to inviting me to come here. It's the first time that I'm doing this kind of presentation, even more in English. So excuse me for some mistakes that I do with the English. But today I'm all about sharing with you guys how I built my professional social media pages and how I grew my network that led to being here today talking with you. Um, I don't want to be here talking for an hour alone. So if you have any questions, just unmute your mic and stop me in any part of the presentation. Okay. So let me just share the screen. Does everybody see the screen?
Yes, it's all good.
Okay. So like Mike said, I'm Vasco Pais. I'm from Portugal. I'm a full-time coach at MVP Academy, unfortunately the only basketball academy in Portugal. So we started 2 years ago, and we're trying to leave a footstep for other coaches and other directors that want to start this job of getting an academy in Portugal. I'm 25, and I've started this online branding or growing my network 4 years ago. To give you a little background of myself, I'm going to 2017. I was 24, 21 years old. Um, I was coaching in my hometown club, Gaia, where I was born, where I played as a kid, as a adolescent, where I started coaching at 17. I was in college taking mechanical engineering. I was not even near becoming a full-time coach. I didn't have that dream yet. But then in 2017, I met Edgar, that is one of my best friends, and he works with me in the academy in the marketing. He's a marketing guru, and he introduced me to networking, to selling myself in any words, not selling, but showing my work or share my work online, mainly through videos of Gary Vaynerchuk. I don't know if you guys know it. He's a mad entrepreneur in America. And I started to watch, and I started to grow my network, building my online presence, not with a professional brand yet. That came in 2019 when I was 23, where I created the Coach Vasco, and my podcast Quinto Quarto. The podcast is in Portuguese because I felt that I have to get back something to my community, to Portuguese people, Portuguese coaches. Um, and I started working in the MVP Academy as a full-time coach. So within these 2 years, through 2017 to 2019, I started to get out there, talk to a lot of more people, and one of those people was Nuno, the MVP Academy director. And I started to go to one of these camps on Christmas, and that led to going to a 15-day event on summer, and then led to me being invited to join the academy. So on. 2 years after, I'm still in the academy. I'm 25 now. I'm second year in the academy. I'm the head coach of the women's team. I had a ton of basketball projects in my professional page. A lot of those with Diogo, that is here. Is the guy that comes up with ideas, and I'm the guy who says, "Let's go for let's start tomorrow." And my podcast has already 11,000 or plus podcast views. So I'm really happy the evolution that and the growth that I have in the last 4 years. The main thing that I want to point out here in these 4 years, the thing that changed the most about me was my mindset, my way of seeing things, my way of connecting with people, and the why not, started to appear. Why not can I be the first Portuguese in coaching in the NBA? Why not can I be the first Portuguese coach in the EuroLeague? Why not? Why not can I be a full-time coach for a lifetime? And that's why I'm going to share with you this presentation. This is what it works for me. It doesn't have to be the same for everyone, but I want to share it. First of all, building my online brand. I don't know if you guys see right down below. I have a quote from Simon Sinek. He has a great book, Start with Why. And I have a book here because I'm almost finishing reading it. And in the back of the cover, he has a sentence that he says, in business is not the what that matters the most, is the why you do it, why you do certain things. And this is why some people succeed and other people don't succeed as much as they wanted. So we have to start with why should we build our online brand? First of all, because we live in a digital era right now, that everything, and even with COVID even more, everything is online. Our meetings are online, our clinics are online, this coach's talk is online, the practice are online. So everything is in this bubble of the social media, and we have to take advantage of it. That's why I think this is a very important thing to coaches. If they want to be out there, if they want to share their game, I think this is very important, as I see a lot of coaches doing nowadays. Second of all, gives you a way of connecting with people, connecting with Mike, connecting with Diogo, connecting with Bjorn, connecting with Mike McKay that I follow for years as a coach, and now he's listened to me in this call. So it goes a full circle a lot of times. And I have a quick story. I don't know, Mike, if you remember how we met, but it was in a call at 1 a.m. with a New Zealand coach that I was almost getting ready to go to bed, and Diogo calls me and he says, so I'm going to get on a call with Mike, and it was Stefan from Austria and a couple more guys. Do you want to go? Okay. And he went to like 3 a.m. in the morning, and we get to know each other there, and then we kept in touch, and it led to me being here right now talking with you. So it really comes the full circle when it comes to networking and getting yourself out there. The third thing that I think is very important to build, why you should build an online brand, is because we love this game so much. Then I want to share it. I want to see how other people share it, how other people talk about it. I wanted to learn. I wanted to know how the people from Belgium does it, how in America they do it, and I have to be online to do it, because I can't go to America every single day to share the game. I have to do it online. And the last thing is growth for myself. Why should I build this? Because it will bring me growth, a lot of growth. And as you saw in my story online, the last couple of years, the last 4 years has been a great ride for me. And like I used to say, is just starting. I'm still in Portugal. I want to get out there. I want to work in other countries, other cultures, other perspectives of seeing basketball. And this is a one way, or one getaway to get that in an easier way. So this is our or my whys. And now my house. We know why. We have to know how we want to do it, or how we're going to do it. First, through network, and I will talk about that a little bit further away in the presentation in more detail. But network is very important, because it's the way that we show ourselves to the other people. Imagine if Mike tomorrow starts a club and joins EuroLiga and needs a coach. He will get with the people that he likes the most, that he is more connected with. He shares his beliefs, his same ideas. So this is a great way to encounter people that has the same ideas as you, or even if he doesn't have to get another way of seeing things. Another thing is social media. We have to be present in social media a lot, because otherwise our online brand won't grow as much as we want. Okay, and it is okay to have 0 followers or 1 follower, but of course, the more followers I have, the more I am talked about outside of my bubble of connections, and um, the more I see that, the better, so to speak. And the third, as in complementing of love for the game, is sharing. I want to share my knowledge, share my weaknesses, share my strength, share my experience. I want to hear coaches sharing their opinions, and that is what leads to creating new projects, new breakdown videos, new X's and O's, podcasts, whatever, everything that makes you happy and you want to do it. My advice is just do it. Okay, so even if you start today and 1 week from now you don't feel like doing it, don't do it more, unless you are enjoying it. You sorry, you don't have to do it at all. Okay, and now we come to the what can you do to get this all this wheel or this project starting. We get to enter Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and I didn't put here Clubhouse, but I want to talk to you guys. I want to see your opinions about Clubhouse when we get to the end of this. And I put TikTok here because I think TikTok is a great way to coaches to interact with players through skills videos, like here's 3 tips to a smoother jumper, here's the key to a killer crossover. I do see that a lot, and I think it's very engaging for players, and even for coaches to learn and through challenge. If you challenge a player to do some, the more people are going to talk about the challenge that you made, and your audience will grow exponentially. And the other four, another again, networking is always present when we're talking about branding online. Okay, because um, the first time that I respond to a comment on my Instagram chat or my Instagram post, I'm networking with the person that posted that comment. Okay, but we'll talk about that later. Now, the social media networks. First of all, Facebook is great for engaging with like thousands and thousands of coaches in one post. Okay, great to get your articles and video drafts out there to get some feedback, to get a lot of comments, to get a lot of people talking about you. And like you see here, just run through a quick research doing basketball coaches, and we have like a private group with 19,000 people, another one with 3,000, 6,500, and 1,200. So in here, in 4 groups, we have more than 25,000 coaches, okay, around the world, that are eager to share, eager to comment, eager to give you feedback. So it's an easy way to start networking. That this is where I started, through Facebook, and then I went to Instagram and Twitter, because I do think that Twitter is the heaven for basketball coaches. Is a truly heaven, not just because of the bluebird, but it's truly a heaven because you have like tons and tons of coaches sharing their X's and O's, sharing videos. Like Diogo, like 3 or 4 hours ago, put 3 or 4 videos of chain larking, playing pick and roll, and a lot of people got to comment. Is a really creates a really good community within coaches, because I know when I put a quick Twitter and I need help, coaches will help me. So 2 weeks ago, I put this tweet out. I'm doing a high-low video about the action high-low, and Adam Stolzer, like almost immediately, sent me like 20 clips of high-low actions against man, against zone. He really helped me. So this is a really a tight community of coaching, of basketball coaching, that helps engaging with more people and creating more and more connections.
Yeah, so Vasco, if you're looking at Twitter, and like you're saying, it's heaven, but um, doesn't it get to a point in which you have like an overkill of stuff?
Yeah, that's one of the downsides of social media. Even more now with COVID. Last year, I was bombed with clinics every day. I remember me and you was like seeing like 8 or 9 clinics a day in the beginning. It was a dumb decision. But yeah, you get bombed with a lot of information. But I do really think that you as a coach you have your ideas, your beliefs, your philosophy. You have to start funneling what you want or what you don't want to see. Okay, so I scroll through my Twitter a lot, and I just stop in some coaches, not everyone, because I see something that catches my eye, and then I'll see, okay, is this interesting? Yeah, then I save it to my bookmarks. If not, I keep scrolling. So in a way, yes, it gets like it gets a little, I don't know how to say it, but full of things that maybe we don't want to see or maybe we don't need. But I think that every 10 or 15 tweets, you have a tweet that has something that you can take out.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was that what you're talking about.
No, that's a great one as well. And I just wanted to add to that, like, okay, but how are you going to make sure that's not 1 out of 15 or 1 out of 20, but that 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 5 tweets is something you have something,
Oh, you
no,
go from, yeah, I know what's your point. You go from following everyone to, okay, I see that this person is the third or fourth time that I go through his tweets, and he doesn't have something engaging, unfollow, and you start to funnel your following basis, okay, to really the people that you know that every 2 to 3 tweets he has like a video of a drill that I need. Because of course, um, I started to follow some coaches that did like 1 hour and a half of 5 against 0. And maybe at the beginning, I was looking through that and I could take something. But now, if I don't want to see that, or I don't believe that this is the way to teach basketball, for instance, I don't follow him. I don't need to. I don't need. The good thing about social media is that you can follow and unfollow the same person in like 3 or 4 seconds. So it's, for me, it's the easiest way to do it. Is the trial and error.
yeah. And now we got one question coming from a familiar face for you. So just go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yeah, hi Vasco. Hi guys. So my question was just because you mentioned, connecting with coaches and players. My question is like, is that something you try to do? So to connect with both coaches and players, and then if so, like why, or is there a reason why you want to approach the players as well? For instance, because Twitter is mostly for 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 coaches. I mean, it's populated with a lot of coaches. So what's your strategy there, and what would you suggest to someone, I don't know, starting out, for example?
Yeah, so my way of engaging with players has like is a two-way road. So first of all, I'm still young. I still have to have a lot of doors to open on my job. So if I have to, or if I want to become a skills coach during the summer, as a lot of people do, I have to connect with the players. But most of all, I do it because I want to get to the clubs that I can get with coaches, because some coaches are not in social media. Some sharks are not in social media, and I don't have their personal numbers. So I try to get to them through players, asking players how is the practice structured, how they do the scouting, um, how's the culture of the club. So I try to go to the same subject through another road, not the coaches, not the CFO or the CEO, but through the players. And a lot of times you learn a lot when you talk to players, because they give you an insight of what they feel when coaches tells them something that they do want to hear, or they don't want to hear. And for me, I learned a lot with players, like telling me, okay, I am a 15-year veteran in my league or in my country. coaches that do this I don't like and they don't succeed here. So I'm trying to create a database, more so, of things that players like and things that players dislike, so I can try to navigate through there and learn as a coach, because I'm still young, we are still young, and we have a lot to learn yet.
Thank you.
Any more questions, Mike? Can I go on?
No, continue, please.
Okay, so now we go to my favorite one, Instagram, just because of two or three things. First, because this millennium generation really brought the boom of Instagram. So Instagram is the number one app these days, because you can interact to the people that are your idols is in an easy way. You can see their story and put a flame or put a smiley face or put a crying face. You can respond to quizzes. You can respond to polls. You can do questions. You can do everything in Instagram. You can, and as a coach, as a brand manager, as an online brand, you can put quick videos and tips in the stories, in the reels, and is easier to interact with your audience. And because of the next generation of coaches like myself and Diogo, like the people from the 90s, are really into Instagram, because we had our personal Instagram. And about Instagram and the other social media, one thing that I didn't mention, I have my professional separated from my personal, because I want to keep things separately. Of course, that if a club wants to see my personal account, I will let them, because I don't have anything to hide. But I want to keep my privacy from my players in the academy, from ex-players that I have, because I do think that we have to have some kind of line between. But it's okay to have the same for both. Okay, it's for me, it's great also. So I brought three examples of coaches in Instagram. One is very familiar with Alex Sarama, and he only has 4,000 followers for the engagement that he has and he receives in his accounts. Okay, it's a guy we all know him. We don't have to talk a lot about him. Drew Halen is an NBA skills coach, and he shares his brand of Pure Sweat through Instagram and through Twitter. So he's very interactive in the Instagram, shows his work, shows how it's done, and then he uses that to market his work, to sell his work. So this is another way to start getting some money, is to selling something that you do online. Okay, that's the other way of doing things. I don't go there because I don't think it's not one of my goals, but a lot of people do it. And Mariano Sanchez was and I don't know if it's still the individual trainer development or player development of Barcelona. So he has 30K followers, and Drew Halen has 183,000 followers. So in here we have like 2,000 people connected with basketball that we can go to his followers and just hit the follow button and start talking with them regarding the networking wise. So, and for me, one of the most important platforms that I don't see many coaches have is LinkedIn, because LinkedIn nowadays is the professional platform of the social media. Okay, and is a great way to network. I put here 10,000% because you can start to network with a CEO of a great company, or a CEO of a club, of the Dallas Mavs, whatever. And is a way to show your digital curriculum. Okay, you have to put the experience, the education, and it's a way to show to people that you are available for a job. And this is why LinkedIn is so important, because as you see, you have groups with 6,000 members, 8,000 members looking for jobs, coaches in search for a coaching position in pro or collegiate athletics. And you have a lot of these groups through LinkedIn. It's an easier way for you to get to a network of people looking for jobs. Okay, and if you don't have the connection to get out there and talk to some people, this is a great way to start. And now getting to the good part, the growing my network. This has been the most amazing thing in my life, growing my network, because it led to me working with basketball immersion as an intern, going to Poland with Diogo and Mike and a lot of other, in Jordan and a lot of other guys, with basketball immersion camps. It's my first time abroad playing or coaching, so he got me. He opened a lot of doors for me, and I hope he can open a lot of more doors. So we start again with why. Why should I grow my network? First of all, because I want to get out of my comfort zone. Okay. I don't see if you guys saw Last Chance U, the last season of American football with Coach JT, and he had like a banner in his office saying "Be comfortable being uncomfortable," and that is one of my life sentences that I carry with me everywhere where I go. Okay, because if I get out of my comfort zone, I get to connect more with people of all kinds of ranges of industries, not only basketball but marketing, podcasting, entrepreneurship, whatever. And that way, I can get more opportunities for myself as a coach to expand my knowledge, to expand my my basketball skills, and try to come up with new ideas and sharing new things. And last but not least, the fear of rejection. I was a guy, and I'm still am a little bit, not as much, that I have a big fear of rejection. um, I was afraid of sending a text to a coach and he sees it and he doesn't reply back. So since I've started networking and starting to send a lot of message to coaches and players, this fear of rejection really went away almost completely, and it has been a great ride so far. And I recommend to people to start doing this ASAP, to really get out there and get outside of a comfort zone. The how do I grow my network? Through DMs, spamming DMs, spamming basketball coaches, basketball players, basketball director of athletics in college, everywhere, everyone. If you send like 300 or 400 messages, maybe one will reply, and it can change everything. Okay. And the other way of not doing it so directly is through commenting. Imagine if Mike posted a video of a drill that he usually posts. I don't know Mike, but I will comment the way Mike. Thanks for the share. It helped me a lot. Keep going, something like that. And then I'll go to his DM. I already have some kind of connection with him through commenting and liking and sharing it. I go to his DM saying, "Hey Mike, just a quick question. If you have 25 players, how would you set this up?" And now you can grow that connection. If he replies, you can start to grow that network and grow that maybe friendship that you can start with him. And then it's a way of getting you to meetings. So like this one, like a coach's talk, like a talk that we have like with coaches around the world at 1 a.m. when Diogo called me. Meetings that I had prepared to go to some clubs in Europe, or to go see some coaches before COVID, that I was going for 3 weeks, on the spread of 3 weeks through Europe, visiting elite athletes and in Belgium, then go to Zalgiris trying to meet someone in Zalgiris, going to Berlin to meet someone in Alba. So getting to the clubs and the coaches that I really want to get to know, and trying to talk to them and see 1 or 2 practices. And last, self-marketing. I have to get myself out there. I have to show that I'm available, even if in the start I don't get paid for that. Okay, this is a great thing that I've done in my former years. I've I've established myself as a guy who is proactive, who does things without asking anything. Okay, and it might be a little difficult to understand at the beginning, but in the long run, I think that it builds character for you. It gives confidence for the other person that is maybe one day is hiring a head coach and remembers what you did and you didn't ask for anything. But even if nothing that happens, you still got a great experience through that. Imagine now that Mike McKay, for instance, or Paul Kelleher needs a coach for the video, and I don't need to, or I don't have the curriculum, but I really want to say to them, okay, I'll go. I just need like a corner to sleep in, and I'll go for my own because I want to learn. I want to experience what it's been like to be with you guys, with guys that have a lot of success. And I think this, when in the earlier years, it's a huge leap into what can happen after. Okay, so again, what when I started to networking, I started to doubt myself because I wasn't able to send as many messages as I wanted. So I have like 3 or 4 quotes that I say to myself that really helped me. First of all, just hit send. Okay, just breathe out for 3 seconds and then hit the send button, and it's done. You can do nothing about it. After is no is guaranteed. This is a big one for me. So if no is guaranteed, if I don't send it or if I send it and no one replies, nothing changes. Everything stays the same. But if someone replies, why not replying to me? Okay, because one of these messages can really change my life. So I'm going to show a couple of examples of people who didn't reply, and I still have them. I'm talking about Gary V, guy that should receive like 1,000 messages a day. Carol Lawson, everyone knows her. She's a coach at Duke. She was the former assistant coach at Boston. And I really just introduced myself. I say, hey, coach, my name is Vasco, and I'm a Portuguese coach. First of all, I wanted to congratulate you for the amazing work because I do think she's really changing the women's culture in basketball in Duke. I'm trying to learn as much as possible daily, and I'd like to know if it's possible for me to ask you a few questions. She didn't reply back. I'm not mad at all. It's just one of those. Maybe if I send it 5 minutes earlier, she would see. Okay, it's something that I'm okay to gamble. And the last was Jose Mourinho, Portuguese coach of football. Again, I'm getting outside of my basketball area. Gary V is entrepreneur. Mourinho is football coach. And he didn't reply. I sent him a message in Portuguese and he didn't reply. But then you'll find that those who answer will help you a lot. First of all, Max McCoy. I don't know if you guys know him, but he's a podcaster. He has a podcast on mindset, on growing, on building networks. A lot of what I'm talking here about meditating, mindfulness, something like that. And I sent him a message in the 1st of October of 2019, asking some help to my podcast. And till this day, he helps me with a lot of things that I have to do with my podcast. Okay. Another one is a funny story. Is Rene. Rene is a youth coach in Alba. I met him through Twitter on last Sunday. I saw a post of him and I sent him a message because I'm studying Alba concepts for the last maybe 3-4 months on the way they player development with Carlos Frade. And I asked him if I could like talk with him for just a little bit to ask him a few questions, and that led to us on Wednesday with a couple of coaches talking with him for like 2 hours, and it was amazing. I still get in touch with him since Wednesday, and we are trying to get another call with more people to talk about Alba. And the last, again, Alex Sarama. This is why I started to talk to Alex first through wishing him happy birthday, but then because Diogo has already knew him in Belgium, I think, in the elite camp. I used Diogo as my bait, so to speak. Sorry, Diogo, to get the connection going. So I use a third party to Alex, so he can know that I'm a person that he can trust, because if I'm a friend of Diogo, and Diogo will obviously, of course, Diogo will say good things about me, as I will say good things about him. Alex will be more prone to talk to me, and that led again to be an intern in basketball immersion, to be with you guys right now, to talk to Alex almost daily, asking for help in a lot of drills. And this is the way I do it. There is no secret. Is trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. And everything I've said until now led to four things. First, with my podcast, I've connected with the best Portuguese coaches that are, and some of the best that ever were coaches in Portugal. I'm talking about Moncho Lopez in Porto. I'm talking about the national team coach of the women teams, the under 20s. I still talk with some of them in a weekly basis to ask him a few questions, because I see the games and I want to understand something that they did. I take notes and then I ask them. So it's a funny way of interacting with coaches in Portugal. Next, it led to working as a full-time coach in a professional academy, as I said in the beginning. Starting to network led me to talk to Nuno, and then showing myself as a proactive person of doing things, never asking for nothing in return in the first years, led him to trust me enough to invite me as a coach in his first year of the academy. Then opportunities to travel and work abroad. Okay. Like I said, I wanted to go on a 3-week journey through Europe to visit basketball minds. It wasn't possible, but I will do it when COVID is over. And I wanted to say that if anyone wants to join me, it will be amazing. It's easier to do it with a lot of people than by myself. And work abroad, because I want to be a full-time coach outside of Portugal. Unfortunately, Portugal isn't one of the big sharks in basketball in Europe right now, and I want to learn as much as possible outside, to then help inside. Okay. And last but not least, the learning curve of building my brand and networking is huge, because I get to talk with great minds of basketball. I get to take my questions and my answers, or the doubts that I have about something with guys that have a lot of success in this area. So it's amazing to share or to see the shared game with everyone. So guys, that was my presentation. Thanks a lot for taking the time to listen. I don't know if anyone has any questions. If not, I have two things that I want to say more about this.
All right, no, for sure, and I appreciate this your whole lifespan, and you're talking about like how did you build this up. So the biggest question for me is, what was your, I won't say biggest mistake, but what was the thing you like developed the most? Like if you had to say one thing, what did you develop the most? What should that be?
I do believe that is communication. Talking, being able to have a conversation with you guys in English, and not really being bored with the mistakes that I'm making, because in my mind I'm processing all the mistakes that I do, or that I do when I'm talking, but getting comfortable talking with you in a foreign language. But I think communicating, know the ways that you need to communicate, how to talk to people, how to send a message, how to build a post, can change really, because first impressions are key. And if my first message to you is not something that you will feel something, or you will need to be engaging with that, then I lost my opportunity to, because a lot of times, it's not the other person's fault of not responding. It's you who didn't manage to communicate as good as you wanted to, your passion, your why, your 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 need to share some things or need to know something. So in the last 4 years, my communication skills got a lot better, for sure.
So what's next for you? What's your short-term goal that you want to achieve within, for example, this year?
In regards of branding
What
or in general?
whatever you want.
So in regards of my podcast, I already achieved it. I wanted to be a sponsored podcast this year. So I wanted to get something through my podcasting. I already got one major sponsor in Portugal. So that one is crossed over. Regarding networking, I really want to get to the big clubs. That because and great that you asked that, because uh, I wanted to do an exercise after this. But yeah, get to the Sharks, to the Barcelonas, to the Real Madrid, to the Zalgiris, and being able to go there for a week and see how they work, how they train, how they talk to their coaches, how they develop their players, all of that. But mostly, I want to be able to, and this is a great goal, not a short term, but a midterm goal for me, is to create a platform for Portuguese coaches to project themselves to other countries, and to, because I do feel that a lot of Portuguese coaches that want to be full-time coaches don't know doesn't have the they don't have the sorry they don't have the mentors. I'm not a mentor because I'm a kid. I'm still a kid, but I can help them get somewhere, because I had someone who helped me, and I do feel that we have a lot of talent here in Portugal, a lot of young talent here in Portugal, that in the next years will go their ways in Europe to grow their game. That's mainly that. I don't like doing a lot of short-term goals. I like to do big goals like 5 years, and then I'll go through the way, because my short-term goals, and now more with COVID. I'm in lockdown, and I have 8 hours to produce breakdown videos and getting them out like any day in, day out. But then the practice starts, and I have 3 practices a day, and then I don't have the time to get that to my followers. So I'll try to go with the flow of where I'm standing now, and see what I can do to improve myself, improve my network, improve my branding, whatever it needs to be improved.
All right, perfect, man. Sounds good. I want to thank you for sharing this, because
Yeah.
yeah,
So
really happy
just
that you came on.
Yeah, so just 2 things. I want everyone to do this exercise with me, because I do think, for me at least, it was a groundbreaking rule for me to start networking more. I want you to guys to think of someone you would like to be really ambitious, someone you would like to connect with in, say, next week. Really, when I say really ambitions, I mean like Steve Kerr ambitions. Okay, so Steve Kerr's, Pablo Lazo, something like that. And then you try to think of 5 people that can get you there, because there's a saying that you only need 5 people in the world to get to the last ladder of the connection board. So for me, I trained a guy from Brazil, that was the nephew of Leandrinho Barbosa, the player from Phoenix, and he could put me in contact with a coaching staff in Phoenix, that could put me in contact with the the board of directors with Phoenix, that can lead, that didn't lead because of COVID, but it could lead to me going to Phoenix 1 or 2 weeks with him to see how they work. So with 2 or 3 calls, I could go to Phoenix. Of course, I have to be kind of lucky to get this player to my team, but we can do the same with, I don't know, Mike. I want to share something with let's go for an easy one. I want to share something with the basketball coach from Netherlands or from Belgium. I'll talk to Mike. Mike talks to someone else that has the contact, and so on. And within 5 calls, you have the contact with that person. Of course, it's not that easy. That's why it's a good exercise to do, because it's not that easy. But if you manage to do just once that, your whole life can change. I don't know. I see the chat. Okay.
Some people are already thanking each other for connections being made online.
Yeah. So just think of the most ambitious thing ever and try. If not, maybe you'll have something will happen. Maybe you just get to the middle of the letter and you get to know the water boy from the Golden State Warriors, and he will tape a little bit of the video for you. The other thing that I wanted to talk about you, and I wanted to know your opinion, if you have one about, is Clubhouse. I haven't joined. I do not know how that works, and I really wanted to get your opinion on that. Let me stop sharing on that to really get to see what can be done there.
So I'm gonna start us off. I'm a big fan of Clubhouse, and why we actually build a community. Or sorry, I don't have to say we, because I'm not the one to build it, but we actually build a community with coaches, players from the national team from the Netherlands, as well from the from playing outside, but also Dutch players, coaches, and just like for example, the journalists that follow that club. And they've built a community, and actually at every evening we have that there are games. They schedule an after meeting, and sometimes you see just head coaches, like head coaches of the first team, just popping in as a listener and joining the stage as a speaker to talk about the game, as well as players from opposite teams. So you hear both versions of players that are on there, and you just discuss the games, and we can ask them questions, we can ask them anything we would like to hear from them, and they can respond, of course, because like it's just speaking, so you also hear things, and that's why it's great. It's not recorded, so you can like get an honest opinion from people.
Yeah.
So within the Dutch community, it's starting to grow, and it's really good. It's becoming better and better every day.
Yeah, so it's like I'm really didn't like see anything about what I heard some things. So it's like Twitter, but you talk it through, right? So if you have like 22 people like now, and you will start talking about branding, and you connect the mic and and I connect the mic and like that, right?
No, so it's not. You can just open a chat. So, for example, if you were on Clubhouse, we can open a room, and everybody that follows us, if you have your messages on, can see that we're going online and we are having a room. We can name the room. We can schedule the room. We can also make the room open for everybody to join, or just from our community that I'm in. And from there out, you go and you have a chat. People can join in. People can leave. You can, as moderators of that one group, you can assign people to speak, so you can just raise your hands and you can raise your hand, and the speaker can allow you to speak, and after that, if you're in the speakers, you can just mute yourself or unmute yourself. So it's really great being on there, and right now that's of course in Dutch, because we're talking in Dutch, like your podcast is in Portuguese.
Yeah.
But it's a great way, because now you see like assistant coaches from like the first clubs. You see head coaches dropping in. I think last week there was a head coach dropping in his car on the way back home from a game, and we could update him on all the different scores and all the different games other players were in, and it was like, oh fuck, this is great. So and everybody is kind of hopping on it right now, but it's just a great way of sharing stuff, and like also building a better culture for basketball, because there are players, people like you said, with influence within the federation, or at least have a listening ear within the federation. So things from within can move outside.
Yeah, that's what I said. You just need one person to like what you're saying that can change everything. For me, it was Nuno that changed my life forever because it took me from my under 14 spot to 4 years after being coaching a senior team with girls from 19 no from 16 to 21. So girls, I have two girls with less than 4 years than me, um, and that escalated my growth as a coach because I have to be always prepared. And for those who coach girls knows what I'm talking about. Girls really need to know everything in detail. So if I don't have the answer, or if I or if my approach to them seems false, they will automatically block me from the start. So it's quite some work, but I'm loving it. And through that life changing invitation that he did to me, now I have a lot of goals, a lot of long lifetime goals that I want to coach as much as possible outside of Portugal. I want to coach the higher level possible, the highest level possible. Okay, I'm talking NBA, G League, Euro League, whatever. And I do throw myself out there to those big goals, because if I get to the middle, I get to what, an A2 in Italy, Pro B in France, and I'm still going to be a pretty decent coach, or I get to assistant coach in a first league of Spain, something like that. And it's still amazing to be a part of that. And then of course you have to be kind of in the right place and the right time to get things happening.
Yeah. No, man, thank you. For now, what I will do is I will stop the recording as usual. We might have a little pre-talk, or sorry, after after
Yeah.
game talk. So I will stop the recording with saying thank you very much for this honest and great presentation. And I really hope people will watch this and learn from this. So for now, I will stop the recording.